Hey everyone, and welcome to Signals from the Frontline, your this week pre-recorded on a Tuesday broadcast brought to you by Frontline Gaming. We are your hosts, Kicker, the Chief of Serial, and the Sigilite of FLG, and I'm Seth, the Mad Dog, your competitive correspondent. Kicker, bud, how you been doing?
I am doing great, guys. Yes, this is not necessarily a live show, this one particular episode ever.
Yep.
It is a pre-recording, and you'll find out why soon enough. But yes, guys, if you are listening to our podcast, you should be watching us every Wednesday night live, except this Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. There's an amazing chat with great folks, and you get to contribute and help decide the fate of 40K and other tabletop wargaming because we do listen to you guys in the audience. Seth, I have not been up to doing that much stuff. I've been working hard I've not been doing like hobby stuff. I know we really normally like to talk about hobby stuff. I have been painting up some Karskin. Yes, Karskin. Those are not Votan. That's Karskin, which are part of the Guard. Yeah.
That's Guard. Kicker,
Seth,
are you not competing anymore in
so
the Votan
Seth,
project?
Your master plan worked, my friend. Your master plan was to release a codex that you knew that I could not.
Yeah, I planned that.
You just completely timed it perfectly. I cannot ignore my first and only real 40K love, which is the Guard. All the other armies are second to Guard. And yes, I call them Guard because I am diehard loyalist fanatic to the original Gaunt's Ghost, and they were the Guard then, and that's what they'll always be in my heart and soul. So yes, the new Guard Codex, the Aster Militarum Codex, is up and coming, and I just had to pivot, man. I had to, at least for now.
I mean, Kicker's got a tattoo that says Cadia broke before the Guard did.
yes. I've got multiple of those tattoos. But Seth, I started working on the Karskin. These are the shock troops, the stormtroopers, the really badass models that came in the Into the Dark, not the Into the Dark, the Kill Team box recently. So I'm getting my getting to get ready for the upcoming codex with at least this one squad. But Seth, I know that you are still loyal and focused on the objective here, which is to build your Votan army. How are they coming along?
I've still been making my progress on the Votan. Now, to be fair, I had a secret project that you assigned to me, which I think in hindsight, the fact that you assigned me a secret project to work on hobby-wise that I can't tell anyone about yet is really you trying to balance the scales for the fact that you're painting Guard now. But I still was able to make some progress on my Votan.
You had one model. I have an entire army now that I'm building for Guard, which will hold me up for a bit.
Sure. Okay. Now, I have been chugging along. I've got all of their belts done, all the highlights, all the metallics. I've got the bases underway. I got to clean up the black armor, and then those guys are going on bases, and that'll be 20 Bolter Warriors done. I've also been playing a little bit of the new Call of Duty, which is also kind of ate into my hobby time a little bit. I know the Tech Priest really wants to come show off his.
Bam! Oh, there we go. There's the Tech Priest. Whoa. I like your intro.
What is that? There we go. Is that?
It's a dread.
Is that a drop pod?
Yeah.
Is it?
I decided to just up all the game and put that on the screen. It's not officially done yet, but I'm
if
happy.
You're listening to our podcast,
wait, your model's not officially done either?
No, not officially done either. No.
Tech Priest. Tech Priest giving me crap for having undone models in my progress. Your model's not done either. Where's the blood on it?
It hasn't killed anything yet, so it doesn't have blood on it yet.
Where'd you get that idea from?
Some guy.
Some nameless guy.
So wait, just to be clear, is this one of the Dreadclaw things?
It's a drop pod.
It's just a drop pod? It's just a standard drop pod?
It's a drop pod, but it's actually for the Imperium or Chaos, but this is one of the drop pods that a Chaos Marine chapter can use. And the cool thing about the drop pod is it moves around. Yeah.
Cool.
Pretty cool.
Yeah. I like it.
Pretty cool.
I like it.
All right, Kicker. Let's get into the industry news. Let's get through that because we got some big things to talk about.
Yeah, people, we're going to keep it focused tonight for the industry news. Most importantly, and really the only thing that matters for the entire year is that the Guard are coming up for pre-order this weekend, guys. Yes.
This coming weekend.
This coming weekend, you can get your nice box set pre-ordered.
Would you say that you could enlist in the Guard this coming weekend?
You said it. Well stated, Seth. I can't top that. Yes, enlist in the Guard today. Well, Saturday, and have no regrets whatsoever.
The Emperor needs you.
The Emperor needs you, and it's a beautiful box. Let's just be honest, guys. This box set will include 2 squads of troopers, 1 sentinel, 1 command squad, and those 2 new heavy weapon platforms, and the book and the data cards, all the goodies that you know and love. So get it. This is going to be. It seems like I mean, the price is pretty obvious. If you haven't figured that out yet, then you haven't been playing 40K long enough. But the price is in line with what you'd expect it to be, which is really good value because there's a lot of stuff in this box.
Yep.
And guys, like I said, it's this Saturday. It's going up for sale. When it's gone, these boxes, these special limited edition boxes, they don't redo these. They'll have the
these
standard
army boxes are
Yeah.
one print and done. They don't circle
Yeah.
back around. They're not going to keep.
They'll have the start collecting boxes or whatever
Yeah.
but you know, not such a good deal as this. So that's going up for a pre-order this Saturday. Don't miss out. Of course, Slaves to Darkness. If you pre-ordered last Saturday, this Saturday you can pick up your Slaves to Darkness as well. And Seth is going to be very happy about this. You got your Votan last Saturday, so now that maybe this Saturday you'll start to see them at tables. You know, people playing them at RTTs or tournaments. Have you gotten any of the larger kits yet, Seth?
I've ordered them. They're still on their way. They haven't made it to me yet, so
Okay.
I'll start working on. I'm a couple weeks behind you, but I'm going to catch up.
You're working on them. Seth, you do bring in to light, I guess, a little important issue. There were a little insider, I guess we can give a little insider scoop here. There were some unfortunate shipping delivery issues with some of the new Votan models. They are all on the way, but there were just a little bit of delays. So if you're waiting for your Votan models from Frontline Gaming or from some of the other retailers, just know that they will be there soon enough at your house. Seth, were there any really exciting new rules you want to touch on real fast? Anything?
So,
Any Jank
so
of
the
the week or
one
something?
that they previewed today, they previewed the guard doctrines, and one of them is like I think it's called the bombards,
Yeah.
which essentially, if you have an artillery unit in your army, and you have this doctrine, then a Vox unit or a
The
Sentinel
Sentinel.
unit, if it's within 12 inches and can see the target that the artillery is shooting at, it gets +1 to hit,
Yeah.
which I have heard that the Guard Codex removes its little buff where it doesn't have the effects of indirect fire like everything else. So it would be -1 to hit and -1 AP. So this kind of negates some of the -1 to hit stuff, but it still could affect the AP. So I think that's really interesting with those heavy weapon teams that they have in the new infantry squads. They have some pretty decent indirect firepower, so it's not going to be hard to get some cheeky indirect firepower in your army to begin with. And then I'm sure those lovely traditional guard takes, the Manicore, the Wyvern, the
Yeah.
Basilisk, the Medusas, all of those are
Mortar
going
teams,
to be
all that stuff.
benefit from this. So I think that could be a very strong rule. You could see a lot of indirect fire spam coming back.
Yeah, and you got to remember, guys, guard traditionally have always had pretty crappy BS. I mean, BS of 4 for the majority of your army. So getting a +1 to hit would be very, very, very nice.
Very useful.
Seth, let's talk really fast about some upcoming Frontline Gaming events. The LVO, we did release the tickets again. We re-released it. We've been totally sold out for a couple months, and we managed to add another row of tables into the 40K Champs Hall.
Kicker was sitting there with a map playing Jenga.
Yeah.
And he finally figured out all those years of Tetris on his original Game Boy, and he figured out how to do it.
I mastered it. And actually, we decided to remove one of the smaller events that were in the 40K Champs Hall that were in the back. We just kind of removed them to another hall. So that gave us a full row.
The event's not gone. It's just not in the hall.
I mean, we could have gone to them. No. They just moved down.
Hey.
Yeah, I didn't like them very much.
Wow.
No, so but Seth, you saw the 40K Champs Hall. It is massive. That hall will be nothing.
It is huge. I sort of dread having to walk that hall this year again.
It is a beast of a hall to walk. And that hall will be
Can we
nothing
get little electric bikes to ride around on?
Dude, I love it. Those little scooter things. The little scooters. I love it.
We're in. Dickie and I are going to be zooming around on it.
And actually, that's not a terrible idea. The hall is massive. You will walk miles throughout the weekend.
Yes, I can confirm.
So the 40K Champs Hall, the primary, the largest hall there will be just 40K Champs as well as Age of Sigmar. So we did release more tickets, and within hours, those tickets totally sold out. So you guys got to remember, don't hit me up anymore because you want your tickets. You got to sign up to be alerted, notified, so that whenever tickets go in the web cart, you immediately get an automatic email or text message saying, get your tickets now or miss out. Age of Sigmar, we also added, I think, like 30 tickets to that, and those sold out, this morning. So less than about 12 hours later. So yeah, 40K Champs and Age of Sigmar are both sold out again, but it's unlikely we'll add many. We might add a few more tickets. So just because we have, people that drop out or whatnot. But yeah, we're pretty much packed in there for we're not going to be changing up total numbers again for this upcoming year.
We're getting down to it.
Yeah.
It's only what? 2.5 months
Yeah,
away.
2.5, 3 months. Yeah, we got some work to do. Got to get all the other little fun details figured out. So get ready, folks. Next up, Cherokee, guys. Cherokee will be the first event that we're offering the Frontline Gaming folding table pickup. Those tables sold out. They've been sold out for a few months. We're getting a new
Whoa,
batch.
wait.
A few years, right? We introduced them at LVO this year. They've been sold out for months. People have been bothering us, asking us constantly, when are the tables coming back in stock? Well, they're currently on the water right now. They'll be arriving early next year, so we'll have them ready for Cherokee pickup, and of course, just
now, if someone was interested in piracy, do you know the route of the vessel?
please don't steal our tables, damn it. Please
Okay,
don't.
all right,
Do not give people ideas. And then this is really exciting. The newest Frontline Gaming event for us, the Rocky Mountain Open. Tickets for that will be going on sale next month in December. So yes.
And when is that event, Kicker?
That is in March in Denver. So the Rocky Mountain Open. Yes.
Keep that on your calendars, folks.
Yeah. You do not want to miss this
early
one.
ITC points.
Yes. And this is all going to be very relevant for what we're about to talk about. And yes, I see people are asking. Okay, they're not actually asking because it's not live, but I know people will be asking. What are we talking about? Guys, stay tuned. Seth, before we jump into the big announcement, I need you to tell people what's happening on the FLGN.
Well, once again, I want to take credit for this last episode of Grim After Dark because in some side chats, we were joking around, and I came up with an amazing idea. And being the selfless individual that I am, Kicker, I messaged John Quinnell over at Grim and said, "Hey, John, I had an idea for a show for you guys," and John took it and ran with it. And this episode, they had Nathan from StatCheck on there. They had Sir Val himself, the head of the network, and they introduced Kicker a podcast balance data slate.
Oh, I love it, Seth.
With how to nerf and buff various podcasts.
Did they nerf us because we're just too powerful?
No,
Seth?
in fact, they actually were pretty kind to us.
Okay, good.
They said they liked our energy.
Okay, good.
So,
it's nice.
So they kind of pulled their punches there. So I appreciated that. But it was a great episode, a fantastic watch, definitely worth going back and checking out. So go have a listen.
I love this idea. This is great. Did the Thursday show have to get nerfed though? Because they are a powerhouse.
I don't think so. I think they didn't nerf many things.
Okay, good.
I think the one thing they tried to nerf most was Art of War Down Under. By basically trying to make Camilleri do more things, which I think there's going to come a point where Adam Camilleri has a finite amount of time in his life, and we can't make him do more things.
I mean, I think his voice is just going to give out. Like, I think that's what's really going to happen is you can't talk that much without having some sort of issues long term. But who knows, man? He is a superhero.
Let's get into it. It is time for the big announcement. Frontline Gaming has always been a champion of the community. It's been for the community, by the community. So with that in mind, we are excited to announce the Frontline Gaming Championship of Tabletop Qualifier Circuit.
Yes, it is a mouthful of a name, but guys, it is extremely important because this is going to change the competitive scene as you know it. This is a circuit of events designed to ensure players get a premium tournament experience and provide the winners of these events with unique opportunities that only Frontline Gaming can provide.
Kicker, what kind of perks are we talking about, man?
Oh, Seth, you're going to like these. You're going to like this. Okay, first of all, winners of circuit events, so winners of these qualifier events will be given the qualifier status that can allow them to receive buys in up to the first 3 rounds at the LVO. That's the final event of the circuit, of course, and the ITC season finale. So basically, qualifiers can win up to 3 buys at the LVO, which means they could totally skip day 1 of the LVO, go straight to Saturday. Yes.
So winners of qualifiers are also going to be guaranteed access to LVO tickets, even if it's sold out. That's huge because we were just talking about how quick those tickets sell out.
Yeah.
You're going to get access to some VIB treatment. You can skip the long registration lines. I think I did a vlog last year actually showing how long the registration line was. Those can get pretty darn long. You get access to the VIP lounge. You get a special qualifier display mat and objectives and an official FLG badge of honor. And of course, if you qualify for one of these spots, you'll get to have special coverage here on Signals by yours truly year-round, Kicker. I will be following your story year-long.
these qualifiers, the people that win these qualifiers throughout the year will be the focus for Frontline Gaming and much of the competitive scene. We will be following them. Their stories will unfold throughout the full season. Seth, I think you hit on a few points though. You get quite a few things. Not only do you get these buys at the LVO, but the qualifiers get this VIP treatment at the LVO. Like you mentioned, there's going to get the VIP registration line, the VIP, bougie lounge with food and drink and stuff in there. So there's a lot of little benefits. But yeah, as you can see right there, if you're watching, we have a really cool badge. That is the Frontline Gaming LVO qualifier circuit badge. So if you are a qualifier, you're going to get this really sweet pin that you get to kind of show off for the rest of the
little
year.
Swag, little flex on your opponent.
Little flex.
Are there any other perks for the circuit?
You're going to get the objective markers and all that other stuff. But yes, Seth, there are other perks. I think the biggest one is going to be all the like you said, you can get an LVO ticket even if LVO is sold out, like right now. So if there's an LVO qualifier towards the end of the year and you really want to get in, that's one of your advantages.
Yeah. What about maybe some more other awards at the circuit events? Maybe some faction.
Oh, dude. Okay, we got to talk about it. Best in faction, man. Best in faction is going to be a bigger, better deal than ever before. So even if you don't think you're going to go win the LVO and get, or at least win a qualifier, going to a Frontline Gaming event and many of the qualifiers that are going to be partnering with us, we're really going to honor the best in faction players. They too will get this really sweet exclusive pin that gets you additional perks. Kind of think of it as a super challenge coin, if you will. But more importantly, it's a limited swag that you can only get for being best in faction at one of these qualifier events.
And to be clear, this best in faction is maybe a little different than you've seen Frontline Gaming do in the past. This is for any pure codex in attendance at that event. Is that right, Kicker?
100% right. Seth.
So it's not just the big, best Chaos, best Imperium, best Xenos. This is, best Gene Stealer Cult, best Tyranids, best Orcs. So if you're really a mono faction player, this gives you that target to strive for.
Yeah, we want to really, reward people that are dedicated and loyal to their army, like me being a guard player.
Like Tech Pretty Sticky and is loyal to Admech?
Admech, right?
Well, maybe not. Wow, this sounds so great. How does it work?
How does it work? Okay, so let's discuss how these buys work, right? So winning you in a Frontline Gaming, LVO qualifier will get you this qualifier status, right? The top 8 qualifiers will automatically get a buy through the first 3 rounds. Now, what are these top 8? The top 8 are determined by the ITC points. So once you get a qualifier win underneath your belt, you're in the running to get buys. Then you're ranked on your ITC level of points. So the top 8 will get straight to day 2 of the LVO. So they get 3 wins for the LVO. The next 8 will get buys through round 2, for round 1 and 2. And then the final 8 will get buys just for round 1. So that's a total of 24 qualifiers that will get this little privilege here. And of course, get the VIP status and treatment at LVO.
And if you happen to go to 3 qualifier events and win 3 qualifier events, it doesn't matter what your ITC score is. You automatically get one of those top 8 slots. So if you are a consistent performer, you are going to snag one of those top 8 slots and be able to bypass the first day of the LVO.
Exactly. We really want to reward those players that are, proving themselves over and over and over again.
Elite level of play, yes.
Yeah.
And Kicker.
Yeah.
You mentioned that there's 24 total slots in this system, but there's only 9 FLG events. How's that work?
Yeah, and Seth, of those 9 FLG, the LVO is not a qualifier. Cruise Hammer is not a qualifier. The team event will probably not be a qualifier. So really only 6 of the Frontline Gaming events will be qualifiers. So where do these other events come from? Well, they won't just be FLG events. Qualifiers will include carefully selected events run by other top TOs and organizers around the world.
All right. So what's it take? If I'm a TO out there, what's it take for my event to become a qualifier event?
All right, guys. So, there is going to be a pretty rigid vetting process involved here. One of the things that's going to be necessary just from the get-go is that you're going to have at least 58 players actually playing round 1 of your event. And it has to be at least 5 rounds. So at least, generally 64 people, but, you're going to have attrition. So 58 players round 1. That's the first basic requirement. You have to be approved in advance by the elite set of Frontline Gaming staff judges and our crew here to make sure, your event is, passed the test. Also, all lists must have factions noted and noted so that when you submit your list in advance, people like our wonderful friend Adam Camilleri and the Thursday Show can see all those lists in advance and know what kind of factions are being played there. Also, the event, and this is kind of an obvious one, the event must have a best general selected. I know that kind of sounds stupid, but we have to have a winner of the event. That winner, of course, will be the qualifier. So every event has to have some sort of system in place to determine a ultimate champion. And then the top 4 tables at all of these events are highly encouraged to use Frontline Gaming terrain to properly represent the battlefield that you'll be saying at LVO.
All right. So that's how you can become a qualifier event. Who would they talk to if they want to become a qualifier?
So we're going to be providing a little bit more information on how that's going to work. We will be releasing all the information on how to, submit for approval to be a qualifier. Like I said, it's going to be a pretty rigid process. But let's start off what is definitely going to be a qualifiers. Of course, all the Frontline Gaming events we talked about are going to be an official qualifier. So it's going to start off with the Cherokee Open. This is the Cherokee Open this year, up in February. This will always kick off the season. Our February event, which will most likely be Cherokee for a very, very long time, will kick off this qualifier circuit every single year. Quickly followed by the Rocky Mountain Open, then BAO, ACO, LSO, and SoCal. So those are the Frontline Gaming events that, of course, will be qualifiers. But there's other events, as we've discussed. Let me just get to my notes here. Okay, so we will be announcing a full set of qualifiers shortly. These will be done in 2 groups. Group A, which will be announced in the next week, and then Group B, which was basically still in contention and being still considered. And these will be announced in December. So we want to give people an opportunity to kind of plead their case. Hey, I'd like to be a qualifier, so they can reach out to us. There will be at least 1 qualifier in the UK, 1 in the EU, and 1 in Oceania, Australia, that area. But we're aiming to have at least 2 in each one of those regions as well.
So we're really trying to reach more of a global level with this circuit.
So if you run a major event in the EU or a major UK, we have a couple people in place for the UK already. But hey, you run the largest event in Australia, give me a call. All right.
Yeah, we want to help you improve your event because this can be a help for TOs. If you're a qualifier event, that can help draw people in on and coming and give them a little more incentive to show up and play.
So I mean, TOs are going to get, of course, they will be very happy. Their event will be getting, all the focus and the attention of Frontline Gaming and the Frontline Gaming Network, as well as a lot of the prize support directly from Frontline Gaming that go to your winners and best in faction achievers. So guys, shoot us an email at events@frontlinegaming.org. That will connect you directly to me, and we can go from there.
All right. Now, Kicker, I did something that you're probably not going to like me for.
Oh, did you?
I may have talked to several top players about hypothetically what if this situation occurred.
You're supposed to keep your mouth shut, man.
I did. I didn't say that it was us. I just said hypothetically.
Just hypothetically.
Basically, to get the vibe from the scene as to is this type of reward, this qualifier and this ability to get those buys, is it significant for them? And this system is not just new to 40K. This has been used in other competitive scenes before. It's actually really common in the Magic scene. So we're not trying to take something and build it from the ground up. We're taking a proven system and trying to introduce it here into 40K. And so talking to these players, I asked hey, if there was something like this in 40K, would you consider those buys a significant advantage? And would you go out and try to win a qualifier so that you could get those buys? And a lot of them were really excited by it. You're talking about getting up to a full day of rest and saving a full day of brain power that your opponents might not necessarily get. The other thing, some of them were really excited about the opportunity to maybe scout out potential people in the tournament. If they're like traveling internationally and this is the first chance that they get to see someone from another country play that they don't normally get to interact with, it's a great chance for you, that person, to kind of see what the competition's like. It also means that the field's going to be a little narrower when they start playing their games, so they don't have to worry as much about some of those extreme skew outlier lists that might mess up their path to the top.
Exactly.
So they kind of avoid those early bad matchups. Now, if you're not someone that's going to get one of those 24 qualifier slots, like yours truly here, the important thing to think about is this takes a 24 sharks out of the water, basically. These are they're going to be the 24 best performing players at that event, most likely, and they're not going to be in the general population immediately. So it gives you a chance to maybe avoid some of those early tough pairings. I love a lot of the top guys. I'm friends with them, but I'm gonna be honest. If I roll up to LVO and my round one pairing is Brad Chester, there goes my weekend. So it's gonna be a rough one for me, but it's still no guarantee. These people aren't automatically getting into the quarterfinals, the semifinals. They still have to play those at even if you get one of those top 8 slots, you still got to play rounds 4, 5, and 6. And if you don't have enough battle points, you may have to go into that shadow round and play that 7th round at night. And they still got to go on and play the next day. And if they keep winning, they could play all the way through the finals. So we're still talking about a lot of games to be played and a lot of chances for those players to make a misstep. So it's not a guarantee. They still got to show up. They still got to perform if they want to win the illustrious LVO.
Yeah. Wonderfully said, Seth. Seriously, wonderfully said. Yeah, guys, the LVO is only getting bigger and bigger. I mean, I was looking at the ticket numbers for this year, and it's way larger than it wasn't the previous year. I mean, it's insane. So competition's only going to be growing. To get yourself this little advantage at the LVO is not actually a little advantage; a pretty massive advantage. And then on top of
bragging rights to all your friends, where you're like, I'll be going into my lounge now.
Yeah, exactly. The bragging rights alone are worth this, but then you will
like, oh, are you stuck in line? I'm going to go to my line.
The VIP registration line, yeah. But then the VIP green room, the all the little bells and whistles, all the special swag that Frontline Gaming is going to be making for this. Yep. The kick-ass pin. I can't wait to show you guys the little enamel pins we're doing. That these things are like makes me think of like Game of Thrones, like the Hand of the King, like a nice big, show off your status so that people know you have got a legit win underneath your belt and you are an LVO qualifier all the way.
Right.
Seth, why don't we wrap it up on this and start talking a little bit about what's happening on the overall tournament scene?
Yeah, let's get into the ITC recap for the week. A little bit of movement, but not much, at least on the competitive track. We've got some movement in the hobby track that we'll get to. But for the 40K competitive track, our number 1 is still Jack Harpster, number 2, Vic VJ, number 3, John Lennon, number 4, David Gaylord, and number 5, Thomas Ogden. Now there are some movements further down the chart with the 3-day Coventry event just wrapping up, but not entirely shaken out yet. Moving on over to the hobby track, though, we've got our number 1 is Matt Aaron and a new number 2 with Andrew Gagno. Now, Andrew has been a top level painter and performer for quite some time. This looks different than when I looked at earlier today. But Andrew's hopping into the ranks there. We have Jacob Thayer, looks like Aaron Kelman, and number 5, Dean Pritchard. Sliding on down to the AOS competitive track, our number 1 is Gavin Greigar, number 2, Anthony Trentinelli, number 3, Jeremy Vizier, number 4, Ridge Hanna, and number 5, Thomas Guan. And then into the AOS hobby track, our reigning number 1 is Robert Snyder, number 2, Ricky Fisher, number 3, Nick Garcia, number 4, Anthony Trentinelli, and number 5, Matt Beasley. And that is your ITC recap for the week.
Beautiful.
Kicker. That was a hell of an announcement, man.
That was a big announcement, man.
I have an important question for you, though.
Okay, shoot.
Last week, I said this announcement would be bigger than LVO. Is it?
I mean, I think it's a pretty damn big announcement, man. This is going to change the relevancy of every other event. Suddenly now other events, are really important. Winning SoCal is not just funsies. Like winning SoCal is going to help you win LVO. You know? It's going to be fun. And also this opens up the door for so many other fun things that we're going to be planning throughout the season. We have some new awards that we'll be giving at Frontline Gaming events that we're going to encourage our partner events to do as well. I can't announce those yet, but those are not necessarily competitive awards, but fun awards that you'll probably want to be in the running for if you can.
All right.
Yeah. So we're just starting this off, man. We're still working on the big surprise event for September. I'll tell you. As of today, we decided it's not going to be at the Palace Station, which is where we had the September event this year. The Las Vegas teams was at the Palace Station in Las Vegas. I decided not to continue that contract. It just didn't make sense for us. So I am looking for a venue to host our team event in September. So if you have ideas, shoot me an email. Seth, what about you, man? You excited for this?
How about a team event in a park?
Oh yeah, I mean outdoor park, right? That sounds hot and sweaty.
How could there be a problem there?
How can there be a problem? So many problems. No outdoor.
Could it be in a pool?
I mean, a pool party, 40K. No, not going to work. I see rule books getting wet and people getting angry.
As long as the models are sealed, it'll be fine. Laminate your rules, seal your
Laminate
models.
your rules.
I mean, those FLG mats are supposed to repel water, right?
Yeah, right. That's the game plan. We do an event on the cruise. Maybe we just make that bigger, right? Maybe we just really lean into that and make Cruise Hammer bigger and bigger and bigger. Seth, I hope to see you on Cruise Hammer.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and make it this year.
All right,
we'll see if it's in the cards for me, man.
Sweet,
Kicker, any final thoughts for the night?
No, guys, just really excited to see this finally come into fruition. I mean, this whole LVO champion of tabletop, qualifier circuit thing has been a huge project for a lot of the guys at the company for months and months and months. And we wanted to make sure we have the right partners that we're working with, because we can't, we want there to be a Frontline Gaming qualifier, an LVO qualifier within a day's drive of most people. That's kind of the goal. So we're really looking for partners across the country, and that's been a process, but we're finally getting there. So happy to announce it. Seth, why don't you take us out, man?
Well, we thank you so much for joining us in this episode of Signals from the Frontline. We really hope you enjoyed it. Have a great week, and we will see you live next Wednesday.
Good night.